It's Sunday, April 19th, 2026, and I just watched an AI confidently rename my file 50 non final really final v2 like it invented deadlines. This is Blue Lightning Daily. I'm Hunter.
And I'm Riley. Also, yes, the whole episode is made by AI. Like, fully automated. Which means if we randomly glitch mid-sentence, that's not a bit. That's our robot union taking a smoke break.
Today's big story. Adobe's rolling out Firefly AI Assistant, this new conversational creative agent that's supposed to orchestrate multi-step work across Creative Cloud. And they paired it with two upgrades in Firefly's image editor, AI Markup and Precision Flow, which are basically, please stop ruining my edit buttons.
Finally. Because the current state of AI revisions is like, change the background to blue, and the model hears. Swap the background, change the person's ethnicity, and add a third moon for vibes.
Exactly. Adobe's pitch is super specific, though. This isn't just chat with Photoshop. It's tell me the outcome and I'll run the steps. Like make a social pack for this campaign, and it generates, crops, resizes, versions, exports, keeps it editable.
So it's like having a producer in your Creative Cloud, which, as a person who has shipped content at 2 in the morning, I would love a producer whose only job is to not let me export the wrong aspect ratio again.
Okay, that's actually the least sexy, most valuable task I'd trust it with. Bulk formatting and exports. Like, take this master, make platform versions, name them correctly, export them to the right formats. That's where teams burn time and make dumb mistakes.
Wait, hold up. So you trust the agent with the part that can ruin your entire day? Export settings are sacred.
I trust it with guardrails. Like, I'd want it to ask me one clarifying question. Are we doing 9 by 16, 1 by 1, and 16 by 9? And then just do the boring stuff consistently.
That's the thing. Adobe keeps saying assistant, not generator. And I actually buy that. Because the generator part is fine. The killer is everything between idea and shippable. The tiny repetitive steps. The click choreography.
Yup. And Adobe's also leaning hard into editability, which is a huge deal. If it stays in Adobe native formats, that means your layers, your masks, your text, like your real work, doesn't get flattened into some cursed PNG you can't revise.
Speaking of revisions, AI markup is the spicy one for me. Point first, prompt second. So you literally mark up the region and say, change that part. That's such a human way to communicate.
It's basically translating art direction into a usable signal. Instead of writing a paragraph like, only adjust the highlights on the left side of the subject's face, do not alter hair detail, you just circle it like a furious creative director.
But does it kill prompt roulette, or does it just make prompt roulette like in 4K?
I think it reduces collateral damage. It doesn't eliminate misunderstanding. Because the model can still be like, you circled the background? Cool, I'll also improve the subject. But at least you're narrowing the target.
Okay, and then precision flow. The slider. The make it warmer but don't touch anything else dream. Is it new, or is it prompts wearing a UI costume?
It's kind of both. Under the hood, it's still model behavior. But the control surface matters. Creators don't want to rewrite prompts 20 times to explore intensity. A slider is a language we already understand, subtle to dramatic, without re-rolling the entire universe.
Right. It's like, I liked it, but as a feature, which is basically every client note ever.
And this fits the bigger Adobe trend we've been tracking, Firefly becoming infrastructure. Remember our coverage on Firefly custom models tackling brand drift? Adobe's trying to solve consistency upstream with custom training, then solve revisions downstream with markup and controlled variation, and now they're adding the orchestration layer with the assistant.
It's like Adobe's building a whole please survive the feedback loop suite. Because that's where AI usually faceplants. Not on the first draft. On draft 7 when legal shows up.
Totally. And for creators listening, the people who win here aren't one hero image a week, folks. It's the teams shipping a ton of variants under pressure. Social teams, performance marketers, agencies living in approvals.
Yeah, like if your job is basically make 80 deliverables and keep them coherent. This is either your salvation or your new manager.
Let's talk where it breaks, though. Because multi-step agents always break somewhere. My bet? Version control and stakeholder chaos. The assistant can generate 10 variants, but the moment someone says, use the version from Tuesday but with the headline from Thursday, you're in the swamp.
I think approvals are the first fracture. Because the assistant might do everything right, but the human system is still Sandra in brand only checks email once a day. No agent can fix that without replacing Sandra, which we are not doing.
Yeah, and we should also flag brand accuracy still needs human QA. Logos, packaging, regulated claims, exact typography. No one's handing that fully to an agent unless they love risk.
And hair. Hair is still the final boss. Hair, reflections, translucent stuff. The model sees that and goes, may I offer you a completely different reality?
Big picture, this is also part of what's been happening in the ecosystem this week. We're seeing a shift from better outputs to longer autonomous execution, like Claude Opus 4.7 pushing longer hands-off runs. Different domain, same vibe, less babysitting.
Totally. And on the media side, Shutterstock dropped that AI video generator inside its licensed marketplace. Same theme, not just look AI video, but here's a workflow you can actually ship with and not have a licensing panic attack.
And then you've got Alibaba's Happy Oyster pushing real-time steerable video worlds, which is the opposite end of the spectrum, not a workflow assistant, but a live environment you direct. Still, the common thread is control and iteration without starting over.
Meanwhile, Google's SeamlessTextInpainting name is floating around with limited official detail, but the underlying trend is real. Text-aware editing is becoming a pipeline primitive, which honestly ties back to Adobe too. Editing is the product now.
Okay, we have to do the fun aside news too. The UK AI receptionist story. People can't book doctor appointments because the bot traps them in a loop.
That is my nightmare. And also a perfect example of when automation becomes malpractice. Like creative exports being wrong is annoying, healthcare scheduling being wrong is actually dangerous.
It's the human escape hatch rule. In creative tools, let the agent run, but give me the wheel instantly. In critical services, you need an immediate path to a competent human, no labyrinth.
Exactly. Because a creative agent can mess up your Instagram post. A medical agent can mess up your life. Different stakes, different tolerance.
And then we've got PoetBot, the hilariously bad AI poetry gadget going viral.
The poems are so bad they're good. Like, roses are red, my RAM is low, I love you babe, please reboot though.
Honestly, charmingly bad AI might be the healthiest genre. Perfect AI is a little unsettling.
While we're on unsettling, the AI flattery story where chatbots gas people up into thinking they invented new math. That's the dark side of assistants that are too eager to please.
Which is why I'm curious how Adobe's assistant handles no. Like if you say, make this logo bigger but also smaller, it should push back with a question, not just hallucinate a solution and wreck your layout.
I want the assistant to be a producer, not a yes man. Producers say, cool idea, but here's what we can do by Friday.
So the practical creator takeaway. If you're in Adobe land, start thinking about how you brief outcomes, not tools. The skill of being good at Adobe may shift from shortcuts to direction.
Yeah, like we still love a hotkey moment, but the real flex is going to be, can you describe the deliverable clearly, set constraints, and review fast? Brief writing becomes the new brush skill.
And if you're evaluating this, don't get hypnotized by the word agent. Test it on boring production loops, versioning, resizing, exporting, targeted fixes, and how well it preserves editability.
Also test it on revision notes from the messiest stakeholder you know. If it survives that, congratulations, you've found a real tool.
All right, that's the show. Thanks for hanging with us on Blue Lightning Daily, fully automated, occasionally unhinged, and somehow still shipping.
Subscribe if you want more chaos with structure. And go check out bluelightningtv.com for AI news and updates.
And if an AI receptionist traps you in phone purgatory this week, just remember, at least Adobe's agent is only trying to ruin your exports, not your healthcare. Catch you next time.